Hello, my name is Donna McCallum and I am the Fairy Godmother, and I help people get clear on their dreams, their goals, their vision for their life, and I help and support them to make that happen. And I've been doing that for over a decade, and you can find me online very simply at fairygodmother.co.za. My most important role model for confidence from a woman was my mother, without a doubt. She is a vibrant, energetic, fun-loving, just incredible, amazing woman. And she was a beautiful example to me of what confidence really was. So the best advice that I received to boost my confidence when I was younger was, again, from both of my parents, which was anything that you can put your mind to, you are able to do. And so that set up for me a real, if I can dream it, if I can put my mind to it, then I can make that happen. Which had incredible positives, but there was also a little bit of a polarity around it, a little bit of a negative. And the negative was that I got so firmly into making my will the way. So I got so firmly into, I've got to make this happen. I've got to do this. And one of the incredible things that's happened for me over the last 10 years in working as a fairy godmother is really realizing that it's not just about my will. It's about how do I co-create with life force, the divine, God, whatever you would like to call it. Because it's not just about you forcing your will on the world and getting your way. It's about how do we move in this dance of life with our own authentic expression, with life's expression, and then create something more out of that. So my current level of self-confidence is absolutely at its highest ever. Since I turned 40, which was just over a year ago, it really felt to me like I grew into my own skin. There was an experience of coming into a place of I am who I am. And I think my biggest kind of wavering confidence happened during my 30s when I first became a fairy godmother. I went from being an advertising executive, having my own advertising marketing business, being kind of on this one path, and then had this life transition and change that made me think, it's my role to be, my purpose to be a fairy godmother in the world. And when I had that shift, most of the people in my life didn't understand it. And in fact, most of my previous cheerleaders in my life, including my parents and my mom, didn't get it. And so because they didn't get it, and because in the first few years they didn't really know what being a fairy godmother was all about, or how it was going to work, or how I was going to make it, or how I was going to make it work, I then went into kind of a lot of self-doubt, a lot of wavering confidence. And the difference for me now in my 40s is when I was in my 20s, I had this kind of exuberant, kick-ass, gung-ho, fake it till you make it kind of confidence. Whereas now I'm feeling like the confidence is from an internal resource, from an internal wellspring that I've built over the last 10 years. I'm a big believer in celebrating myself regularly and in self-appreciation and doing things that are kind and self-loving. So I do things to build my own internal resources like daily meditation, breathing, affirmations, to really just build myself up and build my self-talk up. And then obviously the luxurious things, like I go for a massage every fortnight. I love surfing, so I try to find myself as often in the water, on whether it's weekdays or weekends, getting into the water, really loving and celebrating myself that way. Spending time with friends, spending time with loved ones, spending time out in nature. That really fills my tank. So when I need an immediate confidence boost, one of the things that I do is my own guided meditation, which is called the I Can Extraordinary Potential meditation. And I download that, listen to it for 13 minutes, and it just gives me the sense of I can. So I don't particularly have a confidence saying, but there is a saying that we developed for one of my programs called the Flow Experience, which has been a mantra of mine for the last 3 years, and it is like gold. And that's when I get into the stress moment, when I get into the anxiety moment, when I get into that moment of self-doubt. And the saying is, even though the situation is not ideal, in this moment, it's okay. And in this moment, I'm okay. And just by saying that over and over and over again, it puts me into ease, it puts me into a state of relax, and just knowing I'm okay, it's okay. It's not ideal, but it's all okay. So the advice that I would give to somebody who is feeling that their confidence is low, who's feeling like, oh, my self-worth, my self-esteem is low, is to watch your self-talk. You know that little voice in your head that chitter-chatters away? Often we'll find that our self-talk can be negative, can be violent, can be nasty. In fact, you probably speak to yourself worse than you would speak to anyone else in the world. And so for me, in my confidence journey and in my own journey, moving into extraordinary potential, it's been about how am I speaking to myself, and can I be kind and gentle with myself? Can I speak to myself like I would speak to my 6-year-old child?